I have always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together,
We might as well say,
would you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't
you
you
be
be
my neighbor? Hey, neighbor.
You know, sometimes we have a pretty hard time saying goodbye.
So I'm going to go and
Say hello.
you say goodbye.
And then
He actually came up with the you say goodbye, I say hello song.
I say hello. And then you hear the dink dink. You'd be like, it's Mr. McFeely. It's Miss Healy, Mr. McHealy, right? Not McFeely, because that's a little weird.
No, I think it is Mr. McFeely.
Oh, because he has feelings.
Yeah, because he's really feely and shit, you know?
That's a little weird. No, that of all the shows, Mr. Rogers is the one I refuse to believe was like on that.
I would not believe it, damn it. I don't know if this is...
Won't you be? Please, won't you be?
People customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Stupid ads. That's why you can't use YouTube.
You have to have it queued up, dick. Oh.
You gotta close the door, take off your sweater.
He goes,
Damn.
I got caught on my headphones. The headphones got caught. I didn't want to fuck around and
It's a good call. It's a good call.
I'll be back.
Until then, just enjoy the fine tunes of your childhood. In the neighborhood, a beautiful day.
Yeah, like I've asked Vivi if she knows about McDonald's. Like, so okay, Vivi grew up in the parks like a lot. Like she did gymnastics and shit. So she wasn't like, I can't make any Nickelodeon references. I can't make like Mr. Rogers references. I'd be like, you don't
She
know
doesn't know
none of
these
this
things?
shit. Like I was like, your child. Like, how are we even together?
Look at a little classical little piano. Check out this little twinkle out, bitch. I'm bad as a motherfucker with my fingers.
Check this twinkle out. All right, yeah. So yeah, Vivi doesn't have any recollection of this.
Might as well say,
Would you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be?
my neighbor.
He said that faster than I thought.
Please, please, won't you be
My neighbor.
my neighbor?
Hey, neighbor. Come on.
When I have like two singles, I'm like, why do I even have these? You can't even buy anything with two singles anymore.
I don't know if we're gonna get flagged for playing the whole Mr. Rogers theme song, but I think since we talked over like a good middle portion of it, that
Yeah, we sang with it.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
I think it'll be okay.
We're not using it for them to just listen to.
Yeah. No, I mean we
The
just want to bring you. We
smooth
just want to
stylings.
bring you back to our world.
We didn't
of
want
life.
to, we were just trying to bring you the smooth stylings of a Fred Rogers.
Fred Rogers sounds like it's like a real name of some like real gangster.
Because we can get into some real gangster shit.
Like Fred Rogers, for some reason, it just sounds like it's a name of like a bully on the block type of shit.
I'm still Mr. Rogers from the block.
He's not anymore.
I used to have these shoes on. Now I have these others. And then I changed
Rest
my
in peace,
jacket
Mr.
when
Rogers.
I came in.
This guy, he had trolley. He was talking to the trolley and whatnot.
Yeah, he would ask you the question, and then it would go back and forth and answer it.
Just
But
hilarious.
like, obviously, this motherfucker had to switch. Like, and
He was in here like it's underneath his armrest.
what was the name of the land that he would go to?
The neighborhood of make believe?
The neighborhood of make believe
Yes.
with Daniel, the crying ass cat.
Yeah, and then what was the name of the king?
Dipshit King. I remember he was an asshole. Yo, but I remember like that was such a true it's a fond time.
Yeah.
When I look back on my childhood, like if you didn't experience it as a child, like okay, so for instance, just recently the guy from and that was the I'm so fed up with this shit thing. Look where his leg is. That don't even look comfortable. You want me to move it for him?
He never sleeps in a comfortable position. Or what I would think would be a comfortable position.
He looks like he'll be all right now. But yeah, so Steve from We Just Figured Out Blues Clues. We just figured out
Yeah, he
Blues
put out his
Clues.
little thing.
We just figured out Blues Clues.
Even though I feel like Blue's
What
Clues
the-
was
what
like
they are.
a little bit past your like
It was, but it was enough. Like it was around when. So we didn't have the internet, right? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't. So there was only,
we had AOL.
there's only so much you can like listen to.
Yeah.
You know, so like obviously when you guys, because you guys in our neighborhood there was my age, a step down, and then an even more step down. Adam was like the next step, and they would watch whatever they watch. And it would be, if they watch Blue's Clues and we'd be in the crib, you know the tune, man. It's just like, it's like you don't.
Also, you got to factor in the fact that our little brother is 10 years younger, so
Right.
he also was a lot of that shit.
And maybe you never watched it, but you'll know this tune here. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family.
I refuse to partake in the singing of this song,
But
I've always been anti-Barney.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, Barney was just a weird-ass dinosaur preaching love.
I'm pretty sure he was just a pervert in a Barney outfit.
Maybe on TV, but I'm talking about like the idea of it was a love-loving purple dinosaur
who taught you about your part of the day. Hey, let's all clean up.
Clean up.
This ain't just me, bitch. I may be the teacher in this motherfucker, but I ain't cleaning all y'all.
Like, I am not doing this shit. Fuck you, Brenda.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason why that song came about. He was like, yo.
Just because your mom was a
They're
bitch
cleaning
and
up
she didn't
after
teach you how to clean up doesn't mean you're not going to clean up here, bitch.
Like, go sing this song to your mom. Tell that bitch how to clean up.
Like, Mom, listen.
I'm sure your dad will appreciate it.
No, like, so all that shit is like a part of our childhood to the point where, like, Mr. Rogers is in my eyes someone who couldn't do any wrong, and I don't think he ever did.
I feel like there was like somebody put it on him at one point that things came back clean.
Yeah, of course you're gonna try, but like that's one guy. He came back as like everything he said he was, and I think he was in the army and shit.
Yeah, he was like a fucking
like a badass,
like a Green Beret or whatever.
Can you imagine Mr. Rogers going out there breaking necks, changing his shoes right afterward and shit?
It's like shit, got blood on my shoes.
Can you? No, like I could picture Mr. Rogers literally.
Do you think he had a second pair with him everywhere he went?
Just hold on. I got a story to tell, or my own version of the story. So I can picture Mr. Rogers being in the field with like in the army with his army boots, right? And he comes in and like it starts with the I have always wanted when he comes into the barracks, right?
Yeah.
So he takes off his boots and he throws it up and he catches it.
He's like
snap your fingers. So he would literally put it down and he'd put his slippers on and takes his army fatigues off and he zips up his little cardigan and like I'm sure Mr. Rogers wasn't just he was Fred Rogers his whole life.
I'm pretty sure he was the first person to ever rock a cardigan the way with just the swag.
No, and there was a little bit of swag with it. Like it was not like the worst idea. I'm like, oh, they do that now, right? But Mr.
Yeah, but it took a minute to catch on.
It did take a minute. Just like it took us a minute to finally say what you're actually watching.
I don't like when you try to lead me.
Yeah, but we
into
was
the
just
intro.
talking about Mr. Rogers. We could have went on for hours. I could have taken my shoes off again.
Yeah, but you can't lead me into the intro because then it's not organic like that, and you know already that they don't want to hear you do the intro.
Just lean into it, man. Just
lean with it, rock with it. Lean. Welcome everybody to the Kiona and Kasson podcast. It has been a minute.
No, it's been a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Which, I mean, a minute is technically only 60 seconds. I'm giving them some leeway.
So basically, you're lying. It's been many minutes.
It's been many minutes.
Okay.
It's been a minute, but not a specific amount. So anyway, I am your host, Adam. Of course, if you don't know that by now, then that maybe means you're new. So welcome to the party. I am here to the party.
Welcome
I am, of
to
course,
the party, y'all.
I'm of course here with my older brother / co-host Osama.
Yep.
And this little fat dog leaning against the wall, just chilling. And I don't know if that's a chill out of anger or happiness.
So it looked like a frustration show.
It did. And now let me get this.
What episode is this?
Well, I'm just going in there to double check, man, because
It's 111.
I was gonna say 111, but I didn't want to get we don't have fact checkers. It's just us. Welcome to episode number 111 of the Kiona and Kasson podcast.
111 for future reference.
We are, of course, happy to have you all here with us. Please take this moment to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already.
And while you're at it, go ahead and smash that alert.
Yeah, get notifications for when we pop up.
Like, subscribe because it helps us out. And like if you're new, you don't know, but we'd like to get some more people involved in this.
Yeah, and also I'm tired of fighting with YouTube and the way they do things.
Dude, I don't know what YouTube be on. They don't want us there.
I don't know.
They don't want to see us succeed.
They don't.
We gotta be on some DJ Khaled shit like Lion.
You midgets, motherfucking unicorns. Want to see a black man make it?
Fucking Method Man. I can't wait to see the next one. It's got to be a good movie.
Yeah, I'm still working on getting that Patreon episode together.
Yes.
It's a much more difficult process than I initially anticipated. So your video idea about just turn it on, I'll get to it.
Work. It doesn't.
We'll get it up and running. It's certainly in the process. I just saw you yesterday, but without going into too much detail of why we haven't been around for the last week, how has your time over the last 2 weeks been since
Why don't
they've
we have
seen
to
you
get
last?
into detail about that?
Well, we can get into it for sure, but
Without it.
I just want to start by asking you how you doing.
they've been
You know,
cool.
that you give the word to the fans.
I've been cool. Wedding season. It seems like it's officially over for us, but
Yep.
I had a wedding every weekend for 4 weeks straight. And let me tell
Listen,
you.
if y'all want to get married, I support it. But I only support it if you don't invite me. I don't want to be there.
No, invite me. I mean, I don't mind that. Open bar, free food. I'm cool with all that.
Listen,
but the problem is
3 weddings a year would be fine, but spread them out. Like, I don't want to do that all in 3 weeks.
The thing is, there's a wedding season, and
There's not. People get married all the time.
who the fuck would want to get married in the winter?
Well, people who go on a destination.
Well, I'm talking about in the winter time, during the winter time, at a place where it's winter currently.
I mean, people do it.
I guess it's true. No, but I was, that's pretty much it. Work and just trying to relax in the middle of that because it's always something going on recently.
Yeah.
Weddings are cool, man, but they also you as the guest can incur costs.
Oh, yeah. Yo, I dropped money on a suit, like a full-on suit.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, that's the only reason why. That's like the only small solace, silver lining, whatever you want to call it, to this whole wedding thing. I was all right, man. I don't wear a suit often. Suits are not cheap. I at least can get a couple uses out of this and make sure like it feels like I've got some value out of what I spent. That's the only
goal.
thing.
That's the goal. That you got to think about like gifts.
Envelopes with money and shit.
Yeah, man, I got to give you so much. But you know what, man? Honestly, they were fun. I had a good time. Yesterday was the last
Like,
one.
look, I'll eat before I come. Just save whatever money you're going to spend on my plate. Put that in your pocket.
Well, I think the plate also includes the chair because I think that's a thing.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how
I've never planned.
I don't know how wedding planning
or
goes.
had a wedding, so I don't know.
I would be like, yo, listen, like let's just get some catering in from like Popeyes or some shit.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
I don't know. Outside of Popeyes, eating chicken and fries. I understand. I'm back by popular demand.
Okay, that's cool. Anyway, so episode 111 today, right? That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
It done been said, even though you got a episode 100 shirt on. We need to go back and get some basic logo shirts so we can not put on the same specific episode
Yeah,
shirt.
you know what, man? when you've been doing weddings like the past month, and you've been trying to get the laundry done in the middle, like you're just like, fuck. So here's a shirt that I wore before, and here's a pair of shorts I've worn before. I think I've worn these socks probably at one point, and those shoes definitely. So hey, suck on my dick 2 times.
I got a lot of laundry done yesterday because I was like, I need certain things for the wedding that we were at yesterday because there's another one. We'll get into that. And I was like, all right, well, while I'm doing this, let me make sure I got something clean for tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like pod day, whatnot. It's been a couple weeks. But also I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like going crazy. I'm going to put on some shorts and a regular shirt because I've been dressed up for too much.
No, honestly, it's a lot of dressing up, but it was fun, man. I enjoy it. I'm glad everybody had good weddings.
Yeah. Congratulations to everybody.
Yeah. Yesterday we were able to be at the one with it's funny because going to a wedding that is kind of split in terms of its cultures. Like yesterday was an Arab and a white wedding essentially, and those are not the same thing.
They're not, and historically we usually end up in some kind of issues with it because you have the Arab side of the family that's the more conservative, let's call it that, side of the family, and then you got the white side of the well, they're not our family in this time, but they're just always, there's different ways of celebrating that type of shit.
And they had an Arab DJ, which is hilarious. He was good. And he spoke both languages, but it was funny. Initially, he would have to catch himself when he would listen, when he would be saying some shit in Arabic. And
he's like, "Oh yeah, there's white people at this party."
Right. And like you have to play music that caters to both, and it's just funny to watch, like because the Arab culture is a lot different, right? It's a lot different in terms of what weddings have
And not to say
included in them.
not to say that Arabs don't have a party, because if it's like an Arab wedding, it's like 5 days.
It's a
of
party,
events,
but it's
you
a
know?
different kind of party.
Yeah.
Like it's more drums and dancing and like
Eating.
dancing in unison. Like
Yeah.
it's not like the Casper side. It's literally like cultural dances of significance.
Yeah.
So no, I always
Celebration.
exactly, and then white folks be sitting there like, what the fuck?
I will give props to the white people over there
folks
who
doing?
I'll give props to the white people who were at that party yesterday who probably never even interacted with an Arab person.
Yeah.
And they were out there trying to like get on the floor and trying to learn. Like,
Yeah.
they look hilarious doing it, but
Yeah, one of them tried to do the debki, which is a pretty
it's Arab line dance in a
Arab
way.
line dancing, yes. But she tried to do it, and the second she tried to do like the that big step, she tumbled.
Yeah.
She tumbled like a bag of chips off the counter, out of the bag, onto the floor, crumpled.
But what caused the tumble of the chips? You know what?
Gravity.
I was thinking about something involving gravity.
Working
Yeah.
against me. I've been sitting in this bag of chips, doing my own shit, but you gon' come and push me off the counter. Fuck you think I'm doing here? Sitting here for your enjoyment, and now you making me die, bitch. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Man, that went on longer than I realized. I just keep. If you've watched this before, that beat is at the end not so. It ends bad.
Yeah, it ends really badly.
So like,
But I took your R&B song and made you turn it into a freestyle rap.
Well, I did it.
Well, I just didn't want to hear you sing Gravity.
But that's such a good song.
It got me thinking. You know how like we've had.
What's the other? Fathers, say something to your daughters.
Fathers, be good to your daughters. 'Cause
Oh, I thought it
daughters
said say
will love
something to
like
them.
you do.
Like, what would you say to them? Listen. Don't date people like me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain.
You don't want no part of this shit. The gravity thing, right? I was thinking about this weekend because you said gravity reminded me.
Does it exist?
No. How come it doesn't exist for certain insects and shit? Like,
What are you
how
talking
come
about?
how come a spider can walk on upside down on the ceiling? Excuse me, bitch. I'd like to be able to walk on
It
walls.
does work against them, but they have things in their legs that allow them to
How fucking
grip.
they be sleeping upside down?
That there's the webbing.
Fuck a spider.
You're asking. Adam is the most terrified. He's so
I'm not
terrified
even
of
scared of
insects.
spiders.
Listen.
Me and Sarah literally just talked about this yesterday.
You are
and how
terrified.
you're very wrong.
You're terrified of insects.
I'm not.
Sarah agrees. She has
No,
to
she
be.
doesn't. And I'll tell you this: I'm not terrified of insects. There's just certain ones that I do not like.
Adam is not terrified of all.
If I was afraid of insects, I wouldn't be willing to go and try to
You're
kill
not
them.
afraid.
I despise their existence.
I know, but you're not afraid of all insects.
I'm not afraid of any.
No, the problem is you're afraid of some. Okay, there's a few insects that you're so afraid of that
no.
because of
You
how
wrong,
afraid
brother.
you are, you will react to almost any bug
Let me ask you
who
something.
is crawling or
If-
flying around you as if they could be that bug that you're afraid of.
I'm
And-
not afraid. I'm going to continue to reiterate this because
No,
I ain't
man.
no bitch.
You're afraid of
all
bees.
I'm not afraid of bees.
Yes, you are.
You like bees?
I'm not afraid of them.
I'm not afraid of them either, but do you like them?
I don't run like a little bitch.
Do you like bees?
I don't dislike.
If one is flying
I
around by
don't-
your head, do you
who
swat
I
at
don't,
it?
No, I do. I usually kind of like. It's funny, but like I've gotten used to the idea at work, like because I got my hands kind of tied up usually. So any bug that flies towards me, like usually if they come near you give them you blow, like at them, like just because like it kind of like bees aren't
You get
out
caught in
to
the jet stream.
yeah bees aren't out to murder you, right? So
Man, fuck is you talking about? First of all, once the season starts
I'm
to get to
not-
the point
alright,
and they're like,
listen.
"Yo, we about to die soon," then they start going crazy trying to
I'm
kill
not
everybody.
afraid of bees. I'm not what I don't like at all, and sometimes depending if they're in large numbers, I don't like wasps. Obviously, wasps be the yo. I got a job at where they I have to set up things outside. They have access points. It's like to vent the hut. These bees will set up overnight in these motherfuckers. So, to be honest, it's just a matter of for me. Man, come on, what are you doing? I just that's what I don't like wasps, because wasps can be literally fucking very hostile. Bees are just trying to get honey.
If you're talking about like a bumblebee, First of all, those things don't really come near
Bees
you
too.
unless it's on accident anyway.
Bees too.
Motherfucker, what is a bee? You talking about a wasp or a hornet or a
No,
like,
a bee is a bee is literally like a honey, like honeybees. There's it's part of that. They're not necessarily.
Listen, man. Listen, they don't have like all. I'm not trying to go and murder them all. I don't want them to fly by my face because make a baby.
Listen,
What's up?
Don't you think that we're living in their world?
No, they're living in my world. You came and set up a fucking nest on the side of my garage, bitch. You could have set it up in a tree.
But your garage shouldn't be there technically because we've ruined the world by doing things like that.
Well, they may feel that way, but I feel as though they should not be at my garage.
So I saw the other day I was driving through, same kind of idea. I was driving down Green Street in Bensonville for work, right? And there was like a Bensonville public works truck parked in one of the lanes, blocking it off. So I looked and it said animal control. So the guy was walking to the back, and I looked. It was either a coyote or a fucking
a little wolf.
or a dog. Unfortunately,
I ain't trying to be no dog catcher.
I'm not sure which it was, but the idea. You ever think about the idea that like without humans here, the roads wouldn't exist, homes wouldn't exist. Like the world would look so much more different, and animals wouldn't have the added threat of possible injury or death
I'm not
from just a
disagreeing with you.
random ass thing that fly. Like, what do you think animals think of cars? What do they? How do they process what a car is?
I mean, shit.
When a skunk is just trying to get across the
When
street,
Pepe's running around.
yeah, fucking Pepe Le Pew walk around like past, crosses the street. What do you think they're doing? Like, how do they process what this thing is?
Listen, man.
They've been watching it.
I understand what you're saying,
presumably.
and I completely get it. I don't agree
Completely
with it.
get it.
I don't agree with it though, because here's my thing, right? Bugs and animals and whatever, we also have to coexist with them. Like it's just how it works. And the way things were set up, those
Think ants get horny?
I'm sure there's bajillion ants.
Well, no.
How do those colonies get
Do
started?
you think they're just fucking?
Are they reptiles?
No, I think they're. They have vertebrae, so they're. I know there's like a whole. I remember going over this in like freshman year of biology.
But anyway, listen. What I'm saying here is, all those things they're geared with certain mechanisms for survival, right?
Can you
Bugs
picture,
that fly, fucking spiders that web to catch their prey, and they chill and. We have our brains. That's our tools.
That's
so
it.
we
And thumbs.
Our equalizer.
We also
is that
stand
we
upright.
can. Yes,
We also can create guns.
but I'm saying I'd rather be able to fly like a
I
bee
can-
than stand upright. I'll take that all day. I can go fucking
You'd rather
fly
fly
on
like
things.
a bee? Do you want to be the bee size or your size?
Oh, my size for sure.
Now, now we're not speaking about anything but some sort of Marvel movie.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yes. No. Can you picture two praying mantises fucking? Oh,
Never tried to,
okay,
you know?
look up. This only came to my head. Remember last week when we were talking about were we on the pod? No, we weren't on the pod because
Well, yeah,
me
we
and
didn't
Adam
have
have
a pod
seen
last
me and
week.
Adam have seen a lot of each other in the last few weeks. Remember I was talking to you about a grasshopper?
Yes.
So I
Yes,
got
yes,
home this week, and it was like a warmer day. The sun was out. I think I left early, but I was walking on my back stairs, and there was like a pretty well matured grasshopper, right? Because I think they turn into locusts, which is weird.
I don't even know.
But I was wondering because I was looking at him. I was like, man, he looks like he's friendly enough where I can pick him up. Like he was just staring and looking at me, like, because they got that like ant head but larger.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't do anything. I never even went back to mess with it. But I went upstairs and I started looking up things about grasshoppers. So grab your phone and look up friendliest
My phone. I already have my phone.
friendliest insects, or look up friendly insects.
It's gonna give me some like.
You're gonna be
11
surprised, I think.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, because I swear to God, he was looking at me like I could pick him up and put him in my palm.
Let's see. So it says mantis.
The praying
This is the
mantis,
first one. Ants.
ants.
Tarantulas.
That's it. That's the one that got me. I was like, what? Tarantulas look, the word to me sounds like it's going to cause only problems, right? That's a tarantula of a problem. It's funny to me to think that it's
there's
a
other.
Yes, go ahead. Keep going.
Cockroaches?
Yes. That I thought about this week as I was at work. I was just like, cockroaches?
They just be trying to coexist with you. They ain't try to bite you.
Yeah, but so but we've lived in homes we've had cockroaches before when we growing up.
Yeah.
Like,
It's Harlem. Everybody got roaches.
I don't know. It's just weird to think that a roach was just like, yo, why are you running? Like, how come every time they turn the lights on, or like we were just kicking it, and like, why they got to turn the lights on? Why can't
You over here breaking up a party? Are they like Andy's toys?
I'm pretty sure Jonathan once said that he flicked one off your forehead or something like when we were younger. Like,
Pretty fucked up.
I remember that apartment. We had like a pretty fucked up like little apartment where there was mad roaches. We lived there, I think, 6 months and dipped.
Are they like Andy's toys where like as soon as you turn on the lights, they just all fall? Whatever they're at. Like, how come in that movie, Big Plot Hole, they were never like, oh, I didn't put these toys here. Why are they all of a sudden on my floor?
I don't know. Andy was stupid as it was, man. That kid had no sense.
Yes, and then he had to deal with Sid.
Come on, dude.
You know?
Years and years of fucking Buzz ending up like, I don't know, outside. Like, how did this fucking thing end up outside?
Attached to the back of your car bumper and shit.
Right, like, how'd you guys get here? No, Andy, wrong fucking question, dipshit. The question is, motherfucker, like, how did you get out here and what the fuck is going? Like, he wasn't scared. He was just happy they were found, like, dragging behind the car.
It's like, yeah, I thought I lost you guys.
You didn't think
like,
about
no,
what
you did. You sent him somewhere. Like, he was in a box.
They were at Sid's house for like fucking 2 weeks.
Why the fuck did Sid have access to a rocket?
Why does Sid was a crazy kid, man.
Sid, yeah.
I mean, we grew up with some kids that probably could be considered a Sid.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say. All right, so then there's mealworm. I don't know what that is.
The mealworm is that fat ass they kind of like bump.
Oh, ugh. I don't like that shit. Crickets.
Crickets. Jiminy crickets?
What the fuck is stick insect?
Look up the stick insect. It's hilarious. It's close to like what the praying mantis looks like. You've seen praying mantis in person, right?
Yeah.
Those fucking things look crazy. They are so fucked up to other animals. I mean, insects. They literally bite the heads off of fucking other insects. Just look up.
Oh, punk ass.
Yeah. What you should look up is
Then there's just scorpions and millipedes.
Scorpions are not. Dude, I refuse. They walk around like this, and a fucking like a missile just pointing at things that it could just poke and stab.
They look like they're Egyptian. Like they
walk like they're Egyptian.
Yeah, they give you like the pharaoh shit. Yeah, man. I don't know.
So look up stick bug first because you've never seen the stick bug. It's pretty similar, and it's pretty funny because you're gonna be like, you've seen a leaf bug, right? Mm-hmm. Leaf bugs look literally like a leaf. Like, you wouldn't know it unless you like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, I've seen these things before.
Stick bugs.
God damn.
What?
These things are you fucking long as shit. Just look at the one that this guy's holding. Shit is terrifying.
But they're so friendly. What do they eat? What does a stick eat?
How can it not be friendly? You can literally snap it in half.
Yo, that would be so fucked up. You're just like walking along in the forest, just stepping on sticks, but you end up just killing a whole bunch of stick bugs.
The forest is a living, breathing entity.
Yo, the floor of the forest and the jungle can kiss my ass.
Floor, the trees, the anything.
Dude, we've spoken about it. I'm pretty sure, but Naked and Afraid, hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. First of all, why you need to add the naked element.
Yeah. Like, it's not like we've been on a boat, right? We got stuck on a like. Okay, we've all seen Gilligan's Island. They weren't Gilligan's Naked Island. Like, they didn't stop. They didn't like crash, wake up like, why do I have all these clothes on? Take them all off, and now we're naked the whole time. Like, you got to remember, you have to sleep on the floor. They be waking up with like asses full of bites on them.
Yeah, it's a terrible concept.
Like, they
show.
just been getting their ass munched on all
like
night.
You're having me go into the depths of the wilderness, butt-assed. Nah,
Right.
I'm not doing it.
Okay, so firstly,
At least give me some shoes, man. Like, let me get some hiking shoes.
all right, so listen, this is what my plan would be on Naked and Afraid. I'd get on there and be like, all right, so if this bitch is bad, right?
Oh, look, a cave. We should go in there for warmth.
My first instinct would be like, firstly, you should be single going on this. And in my
Probably.
scenario, just for future reference, I'm a single man in this scenario. All right? Don't fucking get all crazy. Anyway, so I would be like, first night, right? Like, she kind of got a nice butt. So let's see what we can do, right? I'm a reason, but like, listen, we'll probably be here for a while. After the night, we're definitely gonna have a lot of bites, and we're not gonna look as attractive. It's probably a little sexual tension, and if not from your end, it's definitely coming from my end, right? So
That's a fucked up situation because what if, as a dude, you're finding this chick to be attractive? Not necessarily a mutual thing, but you're naked, so you can't hide any.
Yo, there's nothing I can do if your pussy's all out like that. I'm like,
I can't hide my manhood. It's just the way
like,
it is.
Imagine sitting like fucking Indian style, right? Like just sitting there, just like together around the campfire, and your dick's just laying on the fucking dirt. Like
I can't get down with that. Fuck that. I'm not letting my dick sit in the dirt.
Or the funny thing is like having to keep rearranging, right? So like if you put it on your thigh, and next thing you know, it just falls into the. You're just like,
nah, man.
my dick fell in the dirt again.
I'm not going on naked and afraid.
my dick is my dick is in the dirt again.
Listen, let me tell y'all, okay? Me and my penis is like this, and I am not letting it be stuck in the dirt.
That's fucked up.
Ain't happening.
Wake up with your dick in the dirt.
Yeah,
no. That's a different.
We just
metaphor.
talked about how fucked the floor of the floors and
There's no way. There's no way. Like there are so many. Like the fucked up thing is there are so many like microscopic or like very small parasitical like little organisms, right, that run around that you can barely see with your naked eye, and this motherfucker can come up and bite you and kill you.
Dude,
You'll be shitting all over the place for a week.
The type of things that can, like, in the wild, that can fuck with your whole manless shit, taking a piss, you got all like,
see, that's the
I
thing,
ain't
right?
dealing
Like,
with any of it.
You think about
Good.
like, that's why why I always say I don't want to fight with my dick out, right? Like, it's so vulnerable. It's so vulnerable.
All right, wait. Okay. Hold on. I was thinking about this weekend, and I want to talk about it too. Since we're talking about people in their natural state in nature, right? Now listen, disclaimer. I never get on here with the intent to shit on religion. I just have a question. So we're talking about the first man, Adam, and his girl was Eve, cut from his rib, la da da da. We all know the story. Regardless of what... What's that fucking Ace Ventura? Okay, so regardless what their race was,
Put it back. Fuck this bitch. I need my ribs.
this is another plot hole in the story. Okay, regardless what their race was, you had two people. So unless this happened on every continent and not just the one, let's say they were white people, where did black people, Arabs, Hispanic, Asian, where did those come from? And if it was, fill in the blank. It doesn't matter what race they started. Where did the other ones come from? If it started with just one person.
So the one thing I've seen lately that's like, talk about something that's not in the
Clearly
Bible.
they weren't mixed breeded. There's just one person at the time.
So from what I understand, white people aren't mentioned in the Bible?
Listen, man, it's impossible for them to be. If you're talking about where civilization started and you're calling it the Middle Eastern region, Bethlehem, whatever you want to do over there, all right, man, ain't no white people there.
I think there's a small possibility white people could be aliens.
My whole theory has always been that we are the aliens.
Oh, no. 100%. Human beings are the alien. We have to be.
Because where the fuck do we come from otherwise?
We disrupt the whole entire fucking thing, right?
Yep.
Right? It's another thing. You don't want to fight with your dick out. Right? You just don't want to fight. We're literally, think about it. We're here, but we don't really match any of this.
Yeah.
Like,
we have developed everything to match us.
we
match
match it in the way that, you know,
all
they
manufactured.
talk about it, and we're stardust, right? We're part of the universe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
which part? That remains to be the question.
Exactly. Earth doesn't. We don't fit the scheme of Earth, right? There's a lot of things. It just doesn't seem like we
everything
belong.
we do hurts the Earth. Everything.
Everything we do hurts the Earth, and everything that the Earth can do can just wipe us out in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Animals,
which is why I also have had a theory that we've been through this part of civilization before. Ice Age, meteorite, whatever happened, boom, now we have to start all over. It's been 10,000 years that the Earth's been frozen over. There's no trace of what happened prior.
Do you think the same few thousand years have just played over and over again? The same people have existed, will exist again?
Your theory about resurrection and shit, or what's it called?
It's not reincarnation.
Reincarnation. That's how it feels. Yeah, I feel like there were different souls. I don't think it was us.
My theory is that, honestly, I feel like if anybody can say that their religious theory or belief is plausible, then so can be mine.
I mean, word. Listen,
right?
I had this conversation with our parents the other day, too. Well, a couple weeks ago. And I was like, everything that everybody believes regarding afterlife and all that shit, our purpose here, it's all theory. Nothing can be proven. So you cannot shit on somebody else's theory.
That's how I believe, right? So like, dude,
now, when it comes to established religion, certain things you can shit on because certain things just don't make sense, and it's there to be.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to none of it really.
You know,
but I do think that there's got to be some sort of. I don't know. We don't know what space is, right? But we watch movies like Interstellar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's not a scientific movie, but there are some scientific. They say that Interstellar is pretty accurate in terms of how it depicts certain things.
It's Clooney, right? Whatever.
No, that's Matthew McConaughey. And,
what was the one that they did? What he did
Damon,
with like Sandra Bullock,
and with Gravity.
Gravity,
which is not.
Gravity is the theme.
Which is not realistic in any way.
No.
But Interstellar, they said, based on like the theory of relativity for time and what a black hole is and all of the shit that they go through in that movie. It's fairly close.
I'm sure they did their diligence to some degree.
Yeah, of course. But that movie in itself, like the idea that he somehow, it's very. You've watched it, right? You've seen Interstellar. It's a long movie. It's hard to. It gets to the point where it starts to be very hard to like wrap your head around.
Yeah.
But I do believe that's what the universe is, and I think that at some point somewhere this has taken place before. Or this portion of our life, you know what I mean? Like it has to. I don't really subscribe to like the heaven hell thing so much as the idea of that afterwards. Maybe that you close your eyes and you open them again, and you know what I mean. You're somewhere within.
No.
Your past.
We talked about this already, and life is a lot. Give me a break afterwards. But no, I don't know. It's. There's something that you said just before that.
I mean it's a lot, but not that. Don't you think that
the heaven and hell thing. My only beef with that is if you go through and let's say that the religious text is accurate and you have to follow A, B, and C to make it to heaven, and if you do this, and that, you're gonna end up in hell. There's gonna be a large ratio gap there. Every 1,000 people in hell is gonna be like a half a person in heaven.
There's gonna be a lot of people in hell.
Yeah, man. Like. It's just not going to add up very well. So,
no.
And at what point does hell become overflooded?
And at what point are you like, yo, that guy went to heaven? I didn't see what he did.
It'll be Homer Simpson to Ned Flanders all day. Stupid Flanders.
But so what we were speaking about before we went on this tangent about the wild and fighting with your dick out. So listen. I'm not talking about fighting with my dick out, but when you're in the wild with your dick out, you're fighting the wild with your dick out. It's
true.
Like there are too many things. Like you could swim in rivers some places in the world, and something will fucking swim up your dick.
That's what I'm saying. And then now all of a sudden you have all kinds of issues. You can't pee without it burning. Shit's giving you STDs in the water.
I think it burning while you piss is going to be the least of your worries. If some
parasite
swims up your dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck. But
yeah.
I just don't want to do it. I wouldn't. I'd be like, I'd have sex that first night, and then I'd go home the next day.
Like, listen, come and get me.
I'm done. I'm done.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I've done this. Now I want to go home.
Like, not only do I have to deal with my funk, but this bitch starting to stink. Like
we had sex yesterday, and now neither of us can take a shower.
This is not a comfortable situation.
It's been sweaty. She's been bitten. Her ass got bit by mad mosquitoes while we were doing it. I didn't realize it. I think she gave me something.
That's not the situation.
I think it's always just funny. Like literally, like they get there, they get off the truck, and they just throw all their clothes down. And you just feel like you're gonna leave them there. You're just gonna leave your clothes.
I don't get that either. Like at least get my drawers. Mm-hmm.
This is all from you being afraid of insects.
This is not me being afraid of insects at all.
Just a little bit.
There's only certain. The only thing I cop to is there are certain fucking spiders that I'm scared of.
That's what I'm saying about the
not all-
floor of the fucking like. There
They're just
are
like certain shit.
You've seen microscopic looking spiders. Like you've seen small ones that are a different color. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go away.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do nothing with you. Like I honestly let spiders be.
Well,
I
see,
do.
So, and this is Deanna told me this story, right? She's like, the reason why she is deathly afraid of spiders. Like,
Deathly, like
she
she'll die?
will stop in her tracks and like freak out. Basically, she said she got bit one time by a spider that it like temporarily paralyzed her for like a week, and she was in a hospital for it and all that. And she was like,
temporarily. That's not
Yeah.
a temporary. That's too long.
well, I mean, I don't. Yeah,
That's like at some point you're coming to terms.
seems as though she has regained feeling and everything.
but yeah, like a week, you're like coming to terms with shit.
So I was like, all right, I get it. I understand why you're afraid of spiders. Like, it's a legitimate reason. But also, like, not all of them are going to do that to you. And let's be real. That was a one-off. Like, not going to happen regularly. So, but that's why certain spiders are fucking terrifying. And as much as I would love to go and visit the Outback,
Oh, no.
I will not go because
I have no intentions. The only
we're never
reason
going to be
I
able to
want to
see
go
you.
there is so yeah.
On that same note, if anybody is good like digital animator, we're trying to simulate Sam fighting a kangaroo. Mike was like, that's better than. But I want to see if it's really better because Peter and the chicken are pretty epic.
Yeah, it's just like hits after hits,
And they just go through like the whole city.
The
and
only
people's
reason I'm
houses.
going to Australia is literally it's gonna be like I don't know what movie or cartoon it was, but you're gonna see like it's gonna be like animation of me from Chicago. Hit Australia.
Family Guy.
You're gonna show me punch. Oh, that's what it is.
It's fucking Stewie going.
Literally,
That's
watch.
not funny.
That's it. You're gonna see me walk out into the Outback, look for him, be like, "Yo, you," and he's gonna be like me. And then, like, literally, we're going to go put him up. And you remember, he's got to go like this. So I get to go like this. And while he's like here, I'm just fucking ramming my fist right into his fucking face, right?
I think. Do you think that there's like levels to that kangaroo shit where this one's like, nah, you fucking with the wrong one, son. Let's go.
Like, I beat his ass, and then another one comes and picks on. He's like, pick on someone your own size.
What's that fucking in The Simpsons? Where he's that tall dude driving a car. He's like, this is
the
all
only
I can
automatic.
afford.
This is the only automobile I can afford. No, like, so like, are you? So you're saying basically I'm gonna get picked on by other? What if I got okay?
Like that kangaroo's big brother came.
Well, how big is he? Is he as big as me?
I mean, listen.
I'd like to think.
Let's say they're all the same size.
Okay,
Let's
then-
just say they're all the same size.
Then I'm beating every
but,
kangaroo's ass they ever seen.
fool, I think you got it fucked
The
up.
only way
I
I
think you got
can is if-
kangaroos all the way fucked
The
up.
the only way I get beat up by kangaroos if it's literally kangaroos, right? It's
They come gangbang on you. He got involved in that
and
whole East Coast, West Coast
I'm gonna
thing.
say at least 3.
No.
3 kangaroos.
No, you're wrong.
Because I can take out 2.
They give you
'Cause
one
I'm
swift
gonna
kick.
give 1, 2.
Let them catch you in the hip with one of them fucking kicks. Your ass flying 30 feet and you ain't coming back.
Well, first and foremost, I'm taking it right to the ground, right? The first one, I'm just gonna fucking spear him.
You're gonna come off the turnbuckle like fucking Stone Cold. And
No, that one I'm not. I don't think that will work because I think that puts me in a very disadvantageous. It's not a word.
Put you
Disadvantage?
Yeah, put you at a disadvantage.
Yeah, but it puts me at a very the way I want to put it. Anyway, I'd be disadvantaged. Okay,
This shit was a disadvantage.
right. So I would be in that predicament where my balls are where he can probably like punch me, right? Because they got like weird shoulders. Their arms are short.
They're like narrow, but like just swole.
Yeah, like this is how they fight. They walk like this. Like
How the fuck do they fight like this then?
their shoulders can't turn. Like so, I'm assuming that the first one I'm just gonna spear right onto the ground and elbow him right in the fucking face.
Oh,
Bow!
you give it to Goldberg.
Right into the face. I'm gonna
Roll
spear.
your shoulders.
Beat the shit out of the fucking first one.
You
right?
got him fucked up. You ain't doing
He's
that.
so while he's on the ground, I gotta make sure that it's like one fell swoop. So I gotta tackle him, fall with my elbow on his face.
Oh, so you're gonna give him to Adam Sandler on a gator?
No, as we're falling though. So I'm gonna hit him, and then I gotta at the same time get back up a little bit and then elbow him.
I think you gotta hit him and then like also raise your elbow and like come across his chin or something. Let me tell you something. None of those things are gonna happen.
Well, listen,
the kangaroo's gonna fuck
can
you
you
up.
get-
Just
just
gonna
think-
put you out of your life.
This is gonna help somebody, right? This
It's
is gonna,
not.
This is gonna help somebody. Somebody's getting in the predicament. Maybe
Please,
tomorrow.
please, somebody animate this for me and just
Somebody's-
run a simulation.
Somebody is gonna have to fight 3 kangaroos tomorrow. And
There's
I'm
got to
trying
be a
help.
program like if you put your height, weight, and like like arm length and shit, and you put in like a kangaroo's average measurements,
Who's gonna
and they
win?
just face each other.
Listen, it doesn't matter. Somebody's gonna need this. So after I hit him, I have to like get up. Like it's got to be like a what do they call it in wrestling? Like a shot. Like so if you after you go and I take him down, I got to get back up because that next one's gonna come. Right. So I got to turn around and just steal off him left-handed. Bam. He's gonna be so shocked that he's gonna freeze for a second. While he freezes, I'm gonna run at the other one and just like fucking drop kick him, right? Literally go fucking parallel with the ground, bam, right into his little stupid fucking pouch. Bam, right in there. So while he's on the ground, I figure I've beat all three of them up at this point, right? The second one, he just doesn't know what happened. He's like, I got stole off. You get what I'm saying, right? I know this went a little far.
I'm doing some research. Let's see. Survey says 10% of men believe they can beat a lion in a fist fight.
I don't believe that.
I put in there.
That might be the dumbest thing.
I put in
A
what are the
lion?
odds of beating up a kangaroo? Because you could just ask Google stupid shit. Okay, one of the things said, is it easy to fight a kangaroo?
Yes.
A kangaroo can easily chase you down, kicking as it hops. Females are smaller and somewhat less formidable than males.
I'll beat
but
the shit out of a female kangaroo.
Attacks by female kangaroos have caused grievous human injury. If the animal insists on a fight, your best move is to curl up into a ball and wait for help.
Are you serious, man? That came from somebody who got his ass whooped by every fucking animal. Like he got.
It seems like a stark warning. Like, don't try to fight a kangaroo.
I don't believe that, man. I seen dudes steal off the kangaroo for like.
Listen, man,
the kangaroo did nothing. He was trying to get the dog, and the guy said, "What up?" He dropped him. He's like, "Let's go." And dude stole right off him, and the kangaroo was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like this. He's like, "Ah." Right, and then the guy literally looked like, all right, this shit about to pop off. The kangaroo did nothing; they just kind of separated.
All I'm asking for you to do here is be realistic. You ain't fucking up a kangaroo.
I don't think I could beat a lion. I think that's a little outlandish. All right, you might be crossing the line just a little bit.
Lions ain't fighting fair. That's why. Like,
dude,
even if they were fighting fair,
there is nothing scarier than the idea of a fucking lion
all I know
stalking
is
you.
a lion on four legs standing straight up. I'm gonna be eye to eye with it.
What's worse?
Okay?
What's worse?
Let this motherfucker get on his hind legs.
What's the idea of and they can get up trees a little bit.
Yeah, and they're fast, and one swat can knock you the fuck into, probably knock your whole damn head off. To be honest.
No, I think they wouldn't because they'd like to fuck with you a little bit. So what's okay? We've talked about the idea that the ocean is probably maybe the more scarier part than even space.
Right.
Which I don't know how space has these big ass balls flying around.
Because space doesn't have sharks.
Isn't it fucking nuts?
There's too many things in the ocean that can kill you, including the water. So I'm good.
Would you rather be in a position where you know you're getting stalked by a shark or you're getting stalked by a lion?
A lion.
Fuck no.
You'd rather be stalked by a shark?
Shark doesn't want to eat you. They'll bite you and
man.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, and then you're gonna lose a limb. If I'm gonna fight,
you lose a limb, you bleed out, and that's it. If you're literally think about this.
I'd much rather fuck with a lion.
Here's the problem with what you're thinking, right, sir? You're forgetting that the lion isn't the last person to chomp on you. So the lion gets you. They get the big parts of what they want. Like they get like the meat off your legs and ass, right? They're gonna get what they want.
They get the blubber.
That's it. They're not. There isn't much.
That's not true.
Then when they leave, now you got the hyenas. They're like.
At that point, I'm pretty sure that I'm already out cold and I don't know what's happening.
The problem
with
with that is, my theory's correct. Somehow, some way, you're gonna know this is happening.
Listen, I'm telling you right now. The reason why I feel this way is because if I'm dealing with a lion on ground, which is where I have some kind of but I have some kind of chance. If I'm in the water, that motherfucker belongs to the shark. And guess what? More sharks will come, and then you're fucked.
Yeah,
ain't no way out of that. You're gonna poke multiple sharks in the eyes, like, bah, 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 bitch. No, ain't gonna work.
Punch it in the nose. My theory is
and then it catches your hand and shit.
Yeah, but because what you forget is in the water you're punching like this.
It's fucking slow motion.
I can only imagine. While I'm doing it, this is really slow.
And on top of that, regardless how slow it is, let's say you have a full You ain't inflicting that much damage in the water.
No, but I'm also gonna tell you that the hyenas ain't the last of it. Then you get the fucking like the
vultures,
the vultures and the eagles coming to poke your eyes out, like
the worms crawling in and out of you afterwards. Yeah,
you become literally, at least in the ocean.
I don't care what is done with
completely.
I don't care what's done with my body after I'm dead. You killed me. Have your way with it.
Like, you know what, you deserve this.
In the water, I'm sorry. I'm at a large disadvantage in the ocean.
I didn't realize how fucking like savage orcas can be. Like I've realized that dolphins
Anything that you put killer
dolphins
in front of.
gang rape and do all sorts of weird nasty shit.
Well, they're mammals, they get horny too and whatnot.
Right, but that's a little fucked up.
We go in there.
Orcas,
we go into
like,
their. That's what you're talking about. Going into their home.
But they're weird, man, because sometimes they're nice. They're like Sour Patches.
Sometimes you're here. Sometimes you're there.
Like what kind of shit is this? Dolphin, fucking. But like great white or not great whites, orcas, killer whales, which the name itself.
Yeah, which is. I think they only got that name because of how they interact with other underwater life. It's not because they're kind to humans. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, Free Willy, bitch.
That was a movie.
But I think it was a pretty accurate depiction.
I don't look it up. We're talking about animals and how nice they are this episode. I don't think like
we got a whole National
I read
Geographic
something
episode.
today that said that hippos. Since we know that hippos are some of the most violent, like as cute as they may look, the most violent fucking.
Oh yeah, fuck a hippo. Man.
I heard that
those are the worst shits of all time.
I read that they can within one bite destroy a fucking alligator. And they fuck with them just to fuck with them.
Yo.
Like, they literally just be bored, like, ha, 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 ha.
I was watching a show, I think it's called
And they can unhinge their jaw, like...
I might have told you this.
Almost 180 degrees.
We probably spoke about it in a different episode, but I was watching a show, it's called I Was Prey, I think was the name of it. And some guy was telling his story. He was like a tour guide in Africa, and he was taking people like through canals on boats and shit like that. So something happened. I don't know exactly how he ended up into the water. Big problem.
Yeah.
Hippo in the water. Hippo unlashed his jaw and literally bit off both of these motherfuckers' legs. Like his legs. Literally, this guy he was so close to fucking dying because he wasn't done. The hippo wasn't done after the legs. Like he was fucking around and like same way thrashing around under the water. Like hippos are fucked up.
Yeah, that's not.
All right, now let me get to answer this question on killer whales. Are killer whales dangerous? For the most part, killer whales aren't considered life-threatening / dangerous marine mammals. With that said, they have been known to attack humans on rare occasion, which we'll explain later in this article. Despite being carnivorous animals, killer whales don't eat people or generally try to attack them. Nevertheless, it's not advised to interact with killer whales.
I'm saying, like, if you just happen to be in the ocean while they're there, I don't think... Dude, I've seen they can... What are they can like cause wakes, like based on how they swim.
Mm-hmm.
They can cause like a crazy wake and
they
wave.
travel in schools too,
and like flip boats and shit like that. They're not fucking here for the play. I don't know, man.
I don't know either, but
I'm just saying that
the ocean is terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Everything once you're dead, it feels like. And the ones that don't, those lay on the ocean floor, and they stay in their own fucking little, and they mind their business. But they will kill you too.
The ocean does seem like that kind of place. It's got its own like balance.
Yeah.
Things are left alone if they're supposed to be left alone. Like everybody knows, like, hey, don't fuck with that.
That's why actually I was just reading something about like the whole. There's basically saying that they could almost reverse global warming by harvesting a certain thing at the bottom of the ocean floor. I forgot what it was specifically, but they were like the risk that comes along with removing droves of it from its like natural. It's there for a reason, right? So they're like, if we do that, we could be fucking up something else completely. And so they're like, any approach to this has to be weighed and has to be like very carefully thought out. But they're like, any effect that we've had on the environment, we can reverse it with this. We just don't know at what cost.
What that's gonna do to the environment.
Right.
Yeah. See, that's my thing about drilling for oil. Oil's down there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's down there for a reason. I don't know for what exact reason, but oil is down there for a reason.
Yep.
So
probably something to do with regulating the core temperature of the Earth, which is possibly why we're dealing with all this global warming now.
We're fucking
Damn
stupid,
smart,
man. Humans are stupid as hell, man. Well, again, we are the aliens that we keep fucking up the planet that ain't even ours.
Yes. But all right. Let's move to some. Well, how much are we?
We should take a break.
Take a break now?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Then when we come back, I have certain thing that I want to. All right. Anyway, we'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. I got the music to match a new segment of sorts that I would like to introduce. So, is that
I
done?
know nothing about this.
Yeah, you know nothing about this yet. But it's funny because you are going to be the recipient of the first question. This segment, ladies and gentlemen, is called Do You Know Your Shit? Or, as I like to shorten it, abbreviate it, if you will, Dykeys. D-Y-K-Y-S. So, the first ever Dykeys is here. Question.
Something.
The
is
question. You know,
very,
again.
very
Well,
wrong.
I'm not going to
Something is
bring that
very
back up.
wrong with you.
Yeah, listen, I don't dispute that. So your question today is, what are the 5 D's of dodgeball?
Dude, really? Dive, duck, dodge, dive, dodge, duck, dive, dodge.
So you do not know your
It's
shit.
it's duck, dive, dodge, something, and dodge again.
It's dodge, dive, duck, dip, and dodge.
Dip. I forgot about dip. You can't forget about the
You
dip.
can't forget about the dip.
Yes. So that was your segment?
That's a segment.
pretty-
Just a one question thing that,
It's pretty terrible.
see if you know what you're doing and you don't.
That was a terrible segment. That
Listen,
was
man.
a stupid idea.
Hey, I innovate here. You just criticize. All of these things were not where you meant to be. Listen, man, turn off Debo's bicycle.
Yo, so I was on my way
Red.
to get a haircut this week. No, actually, Friday night.
Okay.
So I'm driving, and I'm on Irving Park, and I believe I'm stopped at a light, and in the middle there's the median with the trees.
Do you see my dog first of all right now? It's full.
So there, but I'm stopped, right? So I hear on my roof of the car, I hear a big thud, right? And then
It's never what you want to hear.
whatever hit bounced directly into my sunroof, right? I was like, what the fuck? It was what I finally realized was a half-eaten walnut from a squirrel. So for the rest of the ride, all I kept thinking about was either how mad he was or how excited he was that he got it into my sunroof.
He was probably pissed.
Do you think?
Probably, no! You know how long it took me to get that acorn?
Can you imagine? He's like, oh yeah, this is great. This is great. Oh,
He's like, I carried this 4 blocks.
and usually them dropping it probably means, okay, I gotta go down and get it.
Right.
But like he probably watched it and then watched it hit the car and then watched the car drive away. like have you ever came outside and there's a squirrel just on your on the porch or and
of
just
course.
the way they look at you is just like. But I don't know what to make of squirrels because they seem like, hey, dude, if you're nice to me, I'll come by you.
Remember, I was just telling you a story that one of these guys, he had I don't know if it was an old classic car or whatever, just a car that's been chilling. And he went to go and drive it or whatever and wasn't starting. And he was like, okay, well, what the fuck's happening? So he popped the hood, as most people would. And what else is in there? But a drove of fucking acorns that a squirrel stashed.
I just watched the video right now while I was in the bathroom.
Squirrels are hilarious.
They had the same idea. They had the car in a lift. They unscrewed all of the paneling underneath, and it was just coming out of the wheel wells and everything. Hundreds of them.
Yeah.
It's fucking kind of funny that, but it's like I know you didn't do this on purpose, right?
No, he definitely did it on purpose.
It keeps them,
Motherfucker, how many?
it keeps them warm.
How many acorns do you think the thing can bring at once? He was like, yo, this is my spot. He just stashing them all in there.
Right, but it's not like he was like, I'm going to fuck this guy's car up. Now, if they were,
Well, yes, that probably was not intent because they don't know what to call it.
it's your world, squirrel.
I kind of feel bad for squirrels because, for instance, in my neighborhood, I walk my dog daily, multiple times a day, right? My dog, in general, when he sees a squirrel, he could be, you know how he gets in his little Eeyore mode and he doesn't want to move very much? If he sees a squirrel, that changes instantly. And I've watched other dogs in black do the same thing, and I'm like, these poor fucking squirrels can't just live, man. Like everything trying to kill them.
But that's why they're so lucky that they can just be up in the trees.
Yeah.
Dogs don't know where they just be looking. Like I've been sitting on my porch and I like be there for at least 10 minutes, and then out of nowhere I'll just see like a, like, and that's obviously their stupid ass tail. Like it's just flapping in the wind.
You ever see like the particularly scraggly looking ones where like the tail looks like God knows what the fuck happened to
it. A lot.
Yeah.
Like yo, that squirrel's been through some shit, yo. That squirrel's been.
That squirrel is either like just like a sad, what do I do with my life now type of thing, or he's like a thug and there's a reason why he's got scars like that.
That squirrel been through some shit.
Yeah.
Hey, did we talk about the new announcement for the halftime show at the Super Bowl?
We have not spoken about that. There's a lot of things we missed last week.
Yeah. Well, this one is what? Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar.
I forgot who else was on there. Everybody else is insignificant compared to the rest.
Well, yeah, those three right there, and it's itself, it's like fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Kendrick is confusing to me though. Very confusing, actually.
He's a confusing
It's
guy.
like
I was confused with his first out with Good Kid, Mad City.
So listen,
Great album, but it was like so like there's a different tune in the beginning, and then the end kind of finished with more of like a, find Jesus and get right with yourself type.
But even beyond that, well, it's a story. It's like a progression.
No, I know, I know.
Well, you get that. No, his whole identity is based off this impeccable rapping ability and just really thoughtful like lyrics. But right now, it's like I'm rapping. I'm not rapping, but I'm kind of rapping. I think I might put an album out, but I'm really not gonna. Also, just to let you know, performing at the halftime show.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? I don't know what are you gonna perform?
I'm usually happy to
Is
hear.
he just gonna do like swimming pools or some shit?
Well, I mean, that's like what are Snoop and Dre gonna perform? Ain't nothing but a G thing or some shit.
Yeah,
Like
that's the thing. Like, why are they performing? I guess it's cool. I don't really. I'm not.
Well,
it
I
doesn't give
understand.
me-
Like, okay, the Super Bowl is going to be in LA this year. You got some of the most renowned hip hop artists.
Oh, is that
from
where it's
LA.
gonna be?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So it makes sense when you add that a little bit, or it makes a little bit more sense, I guess. It seems as though you are taking when you look at Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, right? They don't necessarily make music for the Super Bowl audience.
No,
So when you do a halftime show,
but neither does Kendrick really.
well, no, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
It
It's
just
like
happens to be used for certain. Like what's the
it's like when Big Sean did the halftime show. It was a very underwhelming show. It was, and
I wouldn't anticipate this being an underwhelming
No, I don't
show, to
think
be
so.
honest with you, but I just don't know that. I don't know what it looks like.
what
I'm
songs
sure it's
can
gonna
they
be good.
rap though? You know what I mean? Like
They don't have a song all three together, do they?
they do. Well, do they? I don't know. I know K. Dot and Dre have.
It just
a
seems
couple
weird
of them.
that Kendrick hasn't released anything new in such a long time and now he's gonna go. What is this? Usually is tied or connected to some sort of press run for a release. He has he's given no. What's the word I'm looking for? No inclination that it's gonna be an album released anytime between now and the Super Bowl, which is usually early February, if I remember.
My thing with
correctly.
Kendrick is I think he wants to rap when he wants to rap, and when he gets the itch again, he's gonna put something out. But I don't think he's like concerned with being I got to drop every year and a half.
But that
you know?
doesn't. But that doesn't make sense to me that he's going to do the Super Bowl show then, because the halftime show is just usually, honestly, it's exposure he doesn't need.
But it's not-
It's a
you got-
press run he's not on.
Well, part of what
and
you gotta
it's
think
it's
about
a
it
check
is-
he probably doesn't care for.
Part of
I'm sure he's got money. But
Part of what you got to consider yourself here is, yeah, obviously everybody in the United States, for the most part, who's a football fan will be watching. Probably abroad too. Whoever, I don't know how much.
football's not very big abroad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how much.
they would like
whatever, but-
everybody. They always say, "Oh, well, you might as well play rugby."
Yeah. But you are speaking to who you cater to, and all three of them are extraordinarily influential in the LA scene in many different ways. They all have their hand in a lot of things out there. So they are doing a 4 LA shows, what it seems like to me.
I'm sure Kendrick has his hand in a lot of things in terms of the community down there.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like he's just not visible, and it's like I think
But there's very few people who don't know.
Mystique is a very sensitive thing, right? Like because you can create a mystique or you can create absence of your absence in my mind.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder, but also sometimes absence just makes you forget about people.
Yeah, that's not.
Nobody's forgetting Kendrick.
Yeah, no, that's not.
But the point is, like, what I'm saying.
He's following Dre's footsteps. He's like, oh, Dre put out an album every 7 years. Dre put out 2 albums.
Yeah, he's put out an average of 1 album per 2 decades.
Yeah, so you can't really follow that mold. And Kendrick already has probably a larger body of like solo work. Dre's solo, or as far as solo goes.
Yeah, he does. But I guess time will tell with Kendrick and what he's doing, because we read out that press release he had a couple weeks back, and but
I mean, I'm always gonna go and listen. Like, he hasn't really put out much that I've been like, like.
Did we talk
Kendrick
about
Lamar makes good music, so
this made me think of, for some reason, did we talk about the verses with Ja Rule and Fat Joe?
We may have mentioned it.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that it was going to happen. I don't think it happened after we were.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. So
I watched it. It was funny, but so here's my thing, right? Fat Joe. So going into it, I would say that both have really, really, really extensive street catalog music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Ja Rule is who people know of him with, the J-Lo songs and
Ashantis and whatnot.
Ashanti, but like before then,
the B-sides, as it were, are
So he, and I think he said it during the battle. He's like, you forget, motherfucker. I'm one of the three. I'm one of the three, and at some point I was one of the one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Who are the three?
The three, you talking about the big Def Jam artists.
Right. So who are those back
then? So you got DMX, Jay, and Ja.
And Ja Rule. This was a thing, right? Like, so this was 97-ish, I'd say, because I think "Is Dark Hell in Hell Is Hot" came out 97, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, and I enjoy getting into these.
Well, was that one of the 2 albums that he released? Because he did that the 1 year 2 drops. Was "Is Dark and Hell Is Hot" one of them?
Yeah. So maybe DMX was out. Do me a favor, look it up. I'm pretty sure it came out in a calendar year from 98 to 99, or maybe all of 1998. But for that, but regardless of that, 97 is when you started to see. That Def Jam.
Yeah, he did. Dark as Hell. It's Dark and Hell Is Hot, and Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood is 98.
1998, right? So they both, one came out real late. I bought Is Dark and Hell Is Hot. Actually, I bought Flesh of My Flesh.
Then he did, and then there was X in 99. What a fucking run.
Dude, I'm telling you. But then look at Jay. Jay got fucking Reasonable Doubt. He's got
Volume 1,
Volume 2, like, and Volume 3, all within that time frame as well. Ja Rule had less albums in terms of the ones that were the ones, but Veni Vidi Vici is a fucking classic. I refuse for anybody to tell me otherwise. You cannot say.
And Murderers came out around that time too.
The Murderers was the same year, I believe. And that's when you had like fucking, if y'all don't give a fuck, like we don't give a fuck, throw your motherfucking fingers in the air. Motherfucker, the war's on. We go. Okay, never mind. But so. That was such a great era.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I'm going to say it was probably 96 where you start seeing that transpire, because from the way Ja tells it is him, DMX, the Locks. He's like, I come from that era. We freestyled together out in these streets. Like they were Ja gets mad disrespect, though he shouldn't.
Yeah.
I get it. He's the singy-songy type of guy, whatever you want to call it. But before then, before he found that niche, because that was a niche, I don't blame him either.
Yeah,
I could just make songs
and
with
you
finance Ashanti and J-Lo,
and you got Ashanti, who was one of the biggest R&B ladies of the time.
Right, exactly.
And of course J-Lo, when she came out, Why would you not make a hit with J-Lo?
He also brought out Vita. Well, he brought out Ashanti and I think somebody else, but he also brought out Vita to do
Vita.
Who that bitch be? And then Fat Joe brought out Remy, right? So he tells Fat Joe, "Yo, you forget I'm one of the original 3." He's like, and he was telling me, he's like, "I'm about to serve you all fucking night." Like, I think he put out the first song is Murder, whatever, Murder. What's the fucking song? It's
Holla,
off.
holla.
No. It's the family track with Jay and DMX. It's Murder. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. I got it because I was listening to the album, but the first song he played was that. But so he played Flojo. Fat Joe went first. He played Flojo, which is a dope song.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Joe's catalog is deep too, so it's
and that's what I'm saying. They both have equal street catalog, but like
it's a good matchup. It's a good pairing.
Ja went second, which is good because he was able to see the game plan and everything. His shit was just hitting harder. It was just the way I remember Veni Vidi Vici. It's just a hard ass album with crazy beats and just a lot of.
And he had joints on his other shit like Rule 316 and whatnot.
Yeah, he played. It's Murder. So I don't know if I can. Can I do the same thing here?
I don't know. Are you connected to the Bluetooth?
Let me see. Hold on. Because I think I did this already once. But I think it's because you're on it already. But it's all good. It's either way. But it's Murder, right? So it's just like always. Those family tracks with DMX, J, when they would have the locks on there, fucking
some Reservoir Dogs type shit.
Yeah, when those are some of my favorite tracks on any DMX album, any J out. I just love.
That's how it usually is. I mean,
there was something to it. So. When he put like Murdergram or some shit, I forget what it's called. But either way, he played that his first song, and it was just like the difference in feel.
Yeah.
Like Ja Rule fucking still got energy, still sounds like he sounded on those out. Like I was listening, like because a lot of people play over their tracks or it sounds as he raps over it. It sounds.
How would you describe Ja's voice? It's not grimy.
Ja's voice is and that was the thing, because him and DMX both had that gritty ass,
New York,
very, very, just gritty voice, very crackly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and there was that in the beginning. Like they were comparing the two. There was that, and I really enjoyed Ja Rule. He's one of my favorite artists from back then. So I'm always bad at these verses. I am. Because I don't always think about the songs that I should. You don't anticipate, for instance, the way this battle went is Fat Joe went the route more so. And he played, My Lifestyle, and you know that I'm talking about. Y'all wanna live my lifestyle. So stuff
never seen no brick, never seen no crack house.
Exactly. So he played those, but he did a lot of the more polished singles.
Yeah.
The
things that he's known for.
The things the
masses know for him
the
for.
shit that went up, right? And those type of
fucking Make It Rain.
Exactly. But he didn't play. I think he played Lean Back, but not the Lean Back remake. Like he didn't pick certain pockets of music that he has.
I'll say this, going on
my fucking Fat Joe set list would look way different.
Well, as I'm saying, going off of my biases, when I hear the matchup, I would automatically go Fat Joe's gonna win that one. Like
really?
I'm a bigger Fat Joe fan. I like Ja. I have a lot of his old shit too.
He who believeth in Ja
shall not be
condemned.
Nah, I'm just a bigger Fat Joe fan.
But he who believeth not shall be condemned
already.
Only because you've not believed in the man and the only begotten Son. Do my love. Anyway, never mind.
The world.
Yeah, so I'm saying I say that and that's fine because again, though you listen to all of what I've listened to, that was more my era, right? You were a little bit. You were a little younger. I wasn't.
Yeah, but if you're talking about the big three, the other two, I'm huge fan. It's not again.
No, you are.
Again, I'm not disrespecting the fact that I am a Ja fan. I'm just choose Fat Joe because Fat Joe came out same time. Like he's been around from 94,
Fat Joe
95, whatever. Like,
but no, 100. I'm saying in terms of being out, as they say it, being outside, right? Being in that to catch that song in its moment, rather than catching it in a moment after the fact that original moment passed.
yeah, of course.
It's different, right? For instance, DMX and Ja Rule and Jay were big through my whole high school career, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And I was able to be in high school and driving around and messing around and doing stupid shit during that music. You were a little younger, so yes, you heard it, but you weren't hearing it in the same scenario,
I went back and did it though when I had my car.
but that's what we're talking about. You didn't do it.
I didn't miss my moments. I made up for them.
But true. But what I'm telling you is like the idea of like, oh, I copped that, and I was listening to it the same week everybody. Like I remember when I bought Gangsta and a Gentleman, fucking Styles, and Get High and Good Times came on, right? And I remember I bought it. I was in summer school in Atlanta at this point. We were at Gordon Tech. That was the summer after my junior year, right? And I remember going to cop it and coming back and bumping it on the way. And for that reason, I get high. That will always reminds me of that. For some reason, like it just reminds me of that time. I remember.
Of course,
bumping
and
it.
that's again what we've always talked about. Like it's the difference between how music is consumed now. It was like there's a lot of albums that you can point to where you were, what you were doing when you first heard it, like when you copped it, whatever. Like you can do that to a certain point. Like after the streaming era kind of took things over, you don't have that feeling anymore. It's lost on a lot of people.
Joe Budden asked, before we get back to Joe Budden asked a while back, do you think music should go back to being released on Tuesdays?
I don't think the day necessarily matters. I'm okay with Friday.
The day only matters in the regard of if we were still doing physical copies.
What I liked about
like
Tuesdays...
Friday, you could wake up or not even wake up. You could just kind of look at your phone at midnight and be like, oh, we got new music. And, man, I'm starting to look at this a little differently, too, this streaming shit. Like, go ahead, what were you going to say?
What I liked about Tuesdays is the same reason why I wish it wasn't on Tuesday and instead was on Monday. Those release dates were great because you would get out of school, whatever, go and hit fucking Best Buy and cop a CD, and then you have the whole week.
Go to school and just go cop.
Oh yeah, that too. But then you have that whole week, like you're fucking on your way to school. You have that shit in your fucking CD player or whatever. Like
the whole week. But I get what that.
No, but it's end of Tuesday, so you got
Friday would have only made sense to me if we're still in the physical copy era because people get paid Fridays. Tuesday was always an arbitrary. I know there was a specific reason. I do know SoundScan, some shit.
Yeah.
But there was something about that Tuesday release. I remember copping Blackout, the album, the fucking Method Man and Redman. They got that 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever song with fucking LL Cool J, Redman, fucking Method Man, and Ja Rule.
Yeah.
That is one of the greatest rap songs, man. For 4 seasons or some shit. I think it's 4 seasons. Not the Boys the Men song. But
hey, not the hotel.
I remember they had a place called Just Dance across the street from Lane. It was there my whole childhood, and it closed a little afterwards, right? But it was Just Dance. It was they marked up everything. It was one of those like small little shops that they don't really have anymore, which is also that whole era was something else. I remember going and copping that shit freaking my freshman year of high school, and I like certain, you know what I'm saying? Like the moment matters a lot, especially in hip hop.
It does for sure.
Hip hop's a fucking series of really dope moments.
Yeah.
Also
but
bad
I mean,
ones.
Things, it depends also how things age and,
and I agreed. Age
people's
is
longevity and the likelihood that somebody's going to go back and catch up on your old shit that they weren't there for.
Well,
initially.
catching up is hard, right? Because you don't. You can catch.
Catching up is easy if you focus.
My point
on what you're
is
catching up on.
You can catch up, but you can't. You can never let's say
you can't go back to the time.
You can't press play and feel what it felt like then, right? The idea of there's not even a streaming play. There's nothing called streaming. Nobody even knows what streaming is. You either got a tape deck, you got a CD deck. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole thing was a. I don't know if the word I want to use is a vibe, but like for lack of a better term, and because it's the only word I can think about it. It was a different type of vibe, right? The idea that I don't have a streaming platform. We didn't even have iPods.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like you don't have. I remember when they
They
had
have Bluetooth, like Bluetooth was a thing.
What the fuck was Bluetooth? Motherfuckers used to make fun of guys who had the little fucking, So
Still do to this day when I
So-
see people
so-
with AirPods like that.
it's the moment matters, and that's what I was getting at. Like,
Yeah.
I think Joe was kind of disrespecting Ja in that regard, like forgetting, like, yo, and that's why he's like, you forget I'm one of the 3. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Like, and at some point, I was the one, right? I was we rotated, but at some point, I was number 1 for a minute.
Yeah.
Right? I was the guy to go to. So don't disrespect me. And like, man, Ja's still fucking in shape, ripped like a motherfucker.
It was a Ja, Jada, J, and all the
They
J's.
brought out Jadakiss,
Yeah.
like from New York.
Oh, he
life's
came- he
a
was on-
bitch,
he was there
but
with them?
depending how you treat her, you might get rich.
It's so funny that like the renowned, just all out respect for Jadakiss that much of the hip hop industry has. A lot of the songs that he features on, you'll hear the beat shift when it's his turn for the verse. You know what I mean? And it's just like there's that respect.
That's some of my favorite shit about the DMX Ja Rule, their family tracks, because like when it was whoever's album it was, they would typically go last.
Yeah.
Right? And when they went last, you'd again hear the beat switch. Like when you'd hear DMX, the beat would kind of like fade away, and you're, I can't do the. It sounds like like I'm dying,
just like a low grumble.
But like and then DMX pops on it, or like me die before you, you liar, you. Like Jay.
Well, you know what? There's a reason why you like those tracks the best. Because when you have who are arguably the best in the game at the moment, all on a track together, they're gonna do nothing but naturally bring the best out of each other.
But
The same thing like when
it's a difference in that, because we've heard the family tracks in a whole different arena, right?
Yeah.
Joe Budden with Fat Fab and
Oh yeah.
DJ Clue with the A-Team and shit with fucking, like, that was some good shit though, but it was never on the tier. It was like you had like Stack Bundles and fucking Ransom on those tracks, and those are really dope.
Yeah.
All individually really dope, and they come together.
But it's
and
just they're
make
not
a
the
good
same
collective.
the same level
It's
of
not.
artists
It's
because
just not.
even if their lyricism's on the same level, they're not as renowned at that point.
Even
you know?
renowned, I guess. Yeah, maybe that is. Maybe the star size matters in that.
It is for sure. And
But-
it's just the same way like when you have Styles and Jada on a track and they're doing their little back and forth shit, they bring out the best in each other.
Almost.
And
There's only one duo I want to hear do that more, and I've talked to Dave about it recently. Is fucking Nas and AZ because their back and forth is so.
AZ just
fluid.
put out new
Yeah, I heard
new album,
it's
right?
pretty decent. Pretty decent. So just to finish up,
When was the last time he put something out before that?
long time. So let's a really long time. But so just to finish up the Ja Rule and Fat Joe,
Yeah.
Ja ends up winning. He does.
Who did you have pegged winning?
That's what I was gonna get at. I get lost in this idea of when I'm thinking about it, I forget about those like gems that know. Sometimes you forget, and like when I go back and listen to Veni Vidi Vici, which I've been doing the last few days, oh man, that's my shit. Like Ja was something else during that time, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing.
probably said that Fat Joe would probably win, but what you don't take into account a lot with these verses is who's going second, who goes first. Because
Who's prepared? Like who came in
prepared?
with a game plan?
Yes.
Because as I was, we talked about the Dipset Locks battle, right?
Yeah.
And I'm real behind on Joe Budden podcast right now, so I was just recently the other day listening to the episode where they were breaking it down, and he's like, there's a lot of them talking basically like, you can see Cameron didn't really care, he wasn't really in it.
Yeah.
They were literally saying, Fat Joe was in the audience, right? And he's like, I caught him he was about to leave. He was getting ready to leave before the verses started, and for whatever reason, like they turned around and he went in and did his thing. That's why he was on later than everybody else. But like they were just like the preparation. You can tell like
there was
Dipset should have gone off way harder. Like
the Locks were prepared for battle,
and they're killers, and they're going to
Yeah.
be. And Jada's always been Jada. He's been like that.
Yeah.
I'm not cocky. I'm confident. You know what I mean? Dipset should have had, if not an equal impact, a very close.
It's how much it's like you said, how much you care, how prepared you are. I think Fat Joe was prepared, but he wasn't prepared for that job. I think he kind of was a lost time.
Which is weird because he should know.
No,
that
that's what I'm
job,
saying. Something happened where time has made him forget a little bit. And like Ja was like, I'm coming at you all fucking night like this motherfucker. He's like, all night. You know, like he's like, it's all like, and it's almost like every song you're like, oh, damn, damn. Oh shit, Ja.
What you got to take into consideration.
I forgot about this Ja shit. I forgot about this, you know?
What you also got to take into consideration when you do that is you're saying, okay, Ja was, as he said, one of the original 3. The features alone, like the songs that he's on is just, I mean, he's had a lot.
Even if you go girl track, right? He's got way too many like Ashanti and J-Lo and Christina Miller. Like there's
because there was that part of me that's like, all right, Joe got some tracks with Big Pun. Like,
without you?
You're like, oh, Joe got tracks with Pun.
I only think about you.
How the fuck are you gonna compare that? You know
what you're saying is true. I need someone help me. Yo, so I get mad at myself when I forget these things because I know these things. Like I like to can consider myself, a pretty decent student of hip hop, but
connoisseur of sorts.
But it is what it is. Respected both of them. Ja Rule, man. I hope, and like the good thing about these is these artists now, man. The bag.
Oh, the streams started going crazy after they played these things.
Not only that, like bookings and things like that.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I don't know that Ja. Well, after the Fiery Festival, he might have had some issues.
No, but now he's like the price went up because Joe was like, "Yo, the price go up." He's like, "Price been up right before we even did this." He said motherfuckers was calling and he's like, "Yo, you think you slick? You trying to get in before the fucking price goes up? Nah, wait till afterward."
I don't know. I think overall, I probably enjoy Fat Joe's music more.
Because it's a different. So at a certain point, Ja Rule's music went to a different audience, right?
Kind of. I mean, again, you're talking about commercial versus B-side shit, and I'm not somebody who really cares about commercial joints for the most part. Like, there's certain ones, obviously, but like when you start to get into the tracks that you have to buy the album to hear this kind of music.
That's the problem. Fat Joe didn't play those. Yeah. Like, he played the ones that you're gonna hear. Like, and he does have some really great commercial tracks, but I think when you're battling Ja, who's ready for war, like I got the tracks it looked like Ja. They were saying every time Fat Joe started playing, Ja went to his DJ. All right, well, we'll be playing this, cool, and he was ready. Like, play it, drop it, and everything he had a rebuttal for, and that's the problem going second. Just is. You
got to set the tone. Same way of like if you're gonna feature an artist on your song and you put your verse first, and he can kill it. Like so it's kind of that mentality, I guess. But it's supposed to be that competition in hip hop is important.
I'd agree. And I think Versus is really dope for this.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think they've been talking about Cat Williams and they talk about comedian Versus. That sounds so dumb to me.
I don't know how they're going to do that.
I don't
like
care.
Joke against joke type of shit?
I don't want them to regurgitate the same joke they put on it. It's not going to work the same. It's not going to hit the same.
Because what if you're like Dave Chappelle, who like you set up mad punchlines later on early on.
So many callbacks and shit. So that doesn't work. Also, what are you gonna do? Play like the clip of it? That doesn't help anything either. It's not the same. Music is different. Being a comedian, it does the joke doesn't always like connect as well as it would have maybe the night before or the night after. You might get a night where that joke didn't matter.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting in front of a crowd that doesn't really know what you're speaking about, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking work. What's his name? Parks, and I know I referenced, but that's like one of the only pods I like to listen to.
Yeah.
Parks was saying like, he thinks it'd be a good idea. I said, I don't think so. I don't get how that could work. I agree with Ice.
It depends like on their setup, I guess, but it doesn't seem like it's something.
I don't think setup matters. What are you going to do? How does the joke get presented? How do you not
take up 17 hours of somebody's day with this thing?
Exactly. This Versus is going to take 4.5 days because every day, like now, Kevin Hart takes 4 hours to set up that one joke that hits hard.
Yeah.
Now what do you do? Cat Williams then fell asleep because he's 47. He's ready to go to sleep. Like, dude, wake me when it's time for me to give my joke.
Did you actually listen to the Joe Budden pod where he was talking to Cat Williams?
No.
He had him call in and like he was just giving like a different perspective, and it was really kind of cool side of Cat.
Did he talk about cancel culture?
No, they're talking about some of that, I guess. He was talking about just like comedy and like the video of him getting beat up out there by a little kid and like all that type of shit. But you just kind of get a different perspective on things when you go directly to the source.
He sound all there right now?
Yeah, he does. He sounds really good right now. And it was, probably a few months ago, but at that point, he definitely sounded like he kind of had his shit together. He wasn't cracked out on stage.
Yo,
because
he had a run, man.
Yeah.
It's Pimpin' Chronicles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think there was another Pimpin' somewhere in there.
There's usually another pimping.
But like those specials, he's like, that's a love seat. He's like, that mean I can't even sit there unless I'm in love. Like
He definitely had his moment, man.
he's like, when he's like, man, my cereal was up there, knowing damn well you ate it. You gotta be like, it's show ain't. Man, who ate your cereal? Like, you know, like little stupid things like that. It reminds me of those, and not as much because Bernie was on a different level, but Bernie had that same matter of fact.
Yeah.
He was
fucking the hoop flying around as well.
what was the one where he had the gay little nephew or something like that?
we was talking about like Jordan. That's basically where
Jordan?
the Bernie Mac show was based on his comedy.
Yeah, that's right. But just shit like that. Like Bernie was so matter of fact, but like brutally honest. Like if I'm a comedian, yeah, but man, I want to punch that little kid in the chest. I'm not gonna, but I want to let him know that I can. So what I do is I nudge him really hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to make. There's a certain way about a person that isn't holding back from who they truly are. And Bernie, we felt that with Bernie. Bernie, we felt.
If I don't feel that from you as a comedian, I can't fuck with you anyway.
You felt the Chicago coming out of Bernie. Like you felt Chicago. You felt Bernie. Like he was.
Hey man, if you guys haven't watched like all your Def Comedy Jam shits, go on Amazon Prime and watch and catch up to it. I did that shit like last year. I went from first season on, like I just caught all of them, like in their a lot of them in their earliest stages.
Even
like, Dave Chappelle before he was Dave Chappelle.
Even the Comic View,
Martin,
because
hosting and whatnot.
Because it was Def Comedy Jam, but then they had Comic View at some point where you wouldn't get all the good comedians, but you'd still get some young.
There would be like the last one is like the
Yeah, you get the up and comings. I remember. One of the Def Comedy Jams, I forget the Chris Tucker one when he came out and he had the black like leather, like oh my god, those are some fucking. I will credit probably Dave and his family for me being able to learning about like Def Comedy Jam much more because I don't think we had cable like that, and I think it was an HBO thing. So I think from what I remember, I learned it from Dave and his really early on. Like we watched Bernie Mac together, being as shorties and shit.
Of course,
like
Kings of Comedy,
all like that. You know, So
another thing that you being outside,
being outside, it's just a different.
I mean, you
thing.
can go back and watch like all those old stand-ups, and they'll still have you dying laughing. But it's the same way, like. If you're talking current events, it resonates when you're going through it type of shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It is. It just really works. That's why music is what feelings sound like. Yes, but they felt like that then, and it's hard for you to remember what that feels like if you didn't live it.
And of course, there's timeless joints.
Timeless is but timeless is like yesterday when they played for the slow dance. For all the couples, they played Hotel California. I was like, "This is a weird ass song." Like,
and it's funny because they got a room full of Arabs.
It's about death and purgatory. Like it's weird.
And I'm looking around the table, and they're all sitting here like, "We
haven't had that experience here since 1969." then the voices are calling from far away.
So yes, that's I guess how we can. The conversation we can close out on, right? The last couple of weeks there was mad weddings. Yeah. Yesterday we were at a wedding. Yeah. The prior week we didn't record because Sam's boy Max got married and it was on a Sunday and it was just it didn't work out well for us to pod. We were gonna do a makeup, but we decided
against it. I was drinking, bitch.
But so there was that great wedding. That one was fun because of course it's a reunion every time that group of people.
So I could talk about like I had my I gave a speech, right? Mm-hmm. And
yeah, you've been talking about that here. How'd that go?
So I did give the speech, and the speech went well. Like you were there. I mean, I think.
When I ask you those questions, it's for them, not for me.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying. Like, would you agree? I gave a pretty good speech. Like, I think it was pretty good. I think I didn't. It was off the top of the dome. I wasn't. Yeah. Nothing was written. I did forget a few jokes that I really wanted to say. That's what bugged me.
That's the problem with not writing it down.
Yeah. And I should have written it down, but at the same time, I was like,
you got to put like bullet points on one card,
I've known it for too long,
card.
But I realized. So I found myself in a bridesmaid situation, which I didn't understand until Vivi pointed it out at the end of the night.
The movie Bridesmaids. By
The
the way.
movie Bridesmaids. In the movie Bridesmaids, there is, and Max, if you're listening, I love you. There's an old best friend, like they've been together forever, no, like, and then there's
Known since I was 6 type of thing.
right, and then there's a new best friend that from work, and it's funny because that's exactly how Bridesmaids works. And I've watched the movie, but I don't. This isn't something I remember. Vivi had to actually show me. So the old best friend gives a speech. And then the new friend comes up, but then the old best friend remembers. Oh, so she goes back up there and she grabs the mic, and she says something, and they go back and forth. Now we didn't do
Competing
this.
for best friendship.
We didn't do this, right? And I'm not competing. I already listen. There are things I left out there. Like for instance, I didn't say we went to grammar school, to high school, to fucking like all these. There's so many things. Like we done almost been locked up. Like there's a lot of shit, And so I get done with my speech, right? Like I grab my drink, put your drinks in the air, cool. Now the second, the new cool best friend or whatever, like they've known each other for a few years. He comes up there, and like he starts talking, and the first thing he says is, "Me and Max have shared a lot together." He's like, "We've even shared food off the same plate before," and like so that even at the end of that joke, that word, nothing. And then he looks at me, bet you've never done that before. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know how to respond. Like, part of me was like, I've been drinking a little bit. I do enjoy back and forth. Right? Like, and
The other part is like, how much do I want to debate with you about eating food off another man's plate?
yeah, like, I swear, a few thoughts passed through my head in that short, like, split second, right? Like, does he know who I am? Right? 2, is everybody
Like I went before you, so you knew what I was like. You knew the history already.
I was like, is everybody expecting me to like what? How do I react to this? Right? Like, do I just like? I told him I think I was like, oh, we've shared whatever. Like some stupid.
It's probably happened.
We've done other like
we've lived together,
like,
so
yes,
probably.
I don't know where that reasoning comes from, but like me.
Like, did you eat off the same fork as him? Like
Like this is where it could have went. Like so like me well enough, right? Like you probably saw in my head just for a split second, like that one response I shouldn't give, right? Like,
well, all right. Listen, first of all, disclaimer: I don't want to offend anybody with this next comment. All I thought was, this is getting kind of gay.
It was, man. That's another thing I was gonna say. I was like, in my head, that's what I was thinking about, right? Like it was just funny to me. So, but from outside looking in, what do you think? What do you expect when he said that? Did you expect me to do anything like say not anything like, oh, I'm gonna?
I mean, you guys were 6 feet away from each other, so I was like, let's see where this goes.
Like, what did you expect me to do?
I mean, I didn't think that the speech part was going to be completely done at that point.
Oh, you thought I'd get back up or
no,
something?
No, not like in a literal.
I forgot to say that it was just a weird.
Like, oh, he just reminded me. Me and Max have shared food off the same plate. Have you ever?
There's things I can't even say here right now. Like I don't know what you're thinking about, but you're trying to bring me down a road I can't say. Like
this is supposed to be a lovely occasion, sir.
That's one of the other thoughts. I'm like, I can't going back and forth. Might ruin not ruin it, but like hurt the moment, and I don't want to do that. But I feel like he's trying to bruise my ego somehow, and everybody in the room knows me, right? And they know I like to I like to go back and forth.
Most of these people were a group of people that we literally saw daily for years.
Like, so. Not even that. Like they're it's a family essentially.
It's a family. Yes.
For at least the last close to 15 years, right? Like, and I've known Max since fucking 9'3". You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But that's why I'm like, I was frozen. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was one of those where like I think I said something and like I'm just playing whatever. Because I was like, I don't know how to go about this. But it was the weirdest moment I've ever had in a wedding. Like, I was just like, it felt like like as he whip it good. I was like, oh my God.
That's not what I was going
It was
for.
kind of that for a second.
Okay, I give up.
I mean,
I'm going to have to label those better.
I will say none of his jokes really hit. Maybe that one, because they all looked at me like, oh no. Like, I swear that's what I feel like everything was. It went, I was like, I don't know what to say to you.
I think that's an issue that I would have.
One of the funniest moments of my life.
That would be an issue I'd have as somebody who's getting married and inviting people to my wedding. Like, how do I determine who gives a speech at my wedding?
Oh, I already, like, I think if it would probably be, for me, the way I think about it, because pretty sure I know who's gonna stand up, right? Like in my head, I can give you an idea of when I get married who would stand up.
Yeah.
I don't think Pops would want to stand up as much as like I'll ask him. He'll probably be like, no, it's okay. You know, like he'd prefer to probably be because he knows how it is to stand up. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, it is what it is.
It's a process.
It is. But I think you know, obviously, I'd probably have you. I'd have Max say something because Max has been, you know, obviously around for a very long time too.
Yeah.
He's, you know, and I think I wouldn't have too many more, you know. Not inviting his guy, that's for fucking sure. Like, you know, I bet you never did that before.
I bet you Max has never given a speech at your wedding.
Oh, like, you got married before, motherfucker. Too bad. No, it was just, I promise you, and I don't mean this in any other way than to just laugh at it because it's pretty funny to me. But the rest of the night, like, I don't think he asked me if I wanted to smoke a cigar. I smoked a cigar with him. That was cool. He's a nice guy. It's just, it's funny. Like, I was like, that was so unexpected. I wasn't like during my speech, I didn't even direct anything towards him. Like, I was just like, what the fuck was that? I looked at Max to see, and he looked like he had
Do you think he felt threatened?
Yeah,
Like,
probably. I mean, throughout the rest of the night, you see like the bond between everybody, and you know, me and Max included, and like that's a different type of bond. Not that he's not any Max thinks of any lesser, but it's like, you know, like that's a different type of thing.
Yeah.
I looked at Max when he said it. I was like, is he like that nervous laugh? Like, like you know, like, oh no, Osama. Like, that's not the guy you want to talk shit to. You know?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I have no, like, he seems like a cool guy. I just thought that was pretty hilarious to do.
It was a pretty
you know?
funny story.
Were you walking with us when we went to go get the bags? Was that you?
Yeah.
Remember, he was like, I was like, I didn't know how to do. I was like, this isn't a competition. Like
I love him, but we're men.
that's my boy.
Yeah, and then so that was a great wedding. I mean, good
Really
time.
fun,
They
really
did things a little bit differently. Like they didn't want people to have to be stuck for like the whole ceremony thing. give you
Yeah, the hall they
which
had
is cool.
was from 12 to 10. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I think 11 we left, but 12 to 10, and they did it where they split it up: a early brunch and a late. And everybody a lot of people could stay, but some people left, and you didn't have to worry.
Yeah,
It
you
was
go
nice.
just party
It
in the back. You know,
was pretty intimate. We
Yeah.
all dancing together, singing together, having a great time. You know, drinking and whatnot.
Yeah, and then they had guy come for tacos at the end of the night. That was cool.
Yeah,
good
for
ass
sure.
tacos.
What I forget what the tequila. I'm not gonna start. Tequila.
Tecaria.
Taqueria. There you go. That's what it is. Anyway, and it was real fun, man. We had a good time. I enjoyed it.
It's always a good night with those
know.
guys, though. You know, I
Yeah,
never really anticipate anything different.
And that's
so.
the thing, right? Like that's how it was. Like it's just. Even if you want to say you've never shared, maybe me and Max never had shared the dessert. I'm sure we've had shared I'm pretty sure we've shared Hot Pockets. Like
It only comes with 2 in a pack. We were both hungry.
right, you know, motherfuckers was broke and hungry. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so it was really fun, and I always enjoy those people. Like, no matter what, if it takes 2 years before we see each other, excuse me, again, it's very it's never gonna feel like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. So I've gotten attacked at a wedding,
and so that's why we didn't record a pod. I don't like the trend of weddings on Sundays.
Yeah.
That's the one big thing that I'll
We
complain
actually-
about. Although
well-
I did take the day off work the next day. So.
Yeah, me too. I called in like a motherfucker. Max was in DR this week. I think he's just getting back. Probably. I think it was a 7-day trip, so he left Monday. So he may come back tomorrow.
Nice.
You know,
Nice little 7-day little getaway.
Yeah, it's well, we do have that wedding. Well, yesterday was Saturday.
Yes.
Which was nice. Yesterday was a Saturday wedding.
Yes, we talked about it a little bit. It's the Arab white mix
Yeah,
happening.
and at the end of that wedding, they had the idea of bringing a second
Meal.
second meal or a second round of meals. Like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
The one we went to at Ashraf's wedding, they had Lou Malnati pizza,
Yeah.
which was fucking dope because at the end of your drinking, you're just
Something
sopping
greasy
up.
and great.
Yeah. They brought some McDonald's burgers yesterday, and fries, which was good.
I wasn't hungry at that point, so I didn't grab any.
I'm regretting it still till right now, man.
And we just ate McDonald's.
Yo, I promise you, I grabbed the burger for me and Vivi, and I ate mine on the way home. And like 1:30 in the morning, we're just sitting there. I'm like, yo, you think it's too late to go back and just go get a couple of those burgers? Like,
Dude, I can't believe I didn't have the presence of mind to
grab-
grab one
yeah.
on the way out.
where was that presence at?
Because you know what they did is they locked the doors that we were smoking at,
So you had to
and
go
that's
the
where
other
all
way.
that shit was at. So I went the other direction, didn't even look.
That's fucked up too.
So mad.
man.
Well, yeah, so that was also a good fun time. Shout out to our cousin Allah. He was there.
Yeah, man.
His group, they have like little wedding dance group
An
specialized in
Arab-
Arab debki.
yeah.
So they came, and that's the first time we got to see. I don't know if you saw him before live,
No,
but that
that's
was the first time I
yeah.
saw him in person doing
He
that.
seemed so happy to be
Yeah.
doing it. So it was
First of all, always cool just to see him in general, and a lot of the people who were there. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna discount everybody else, but just watching like that whole thing in person was kind of really cool.
Yeah.
Like
pretty inspiring because he seems happy doing what he's doing.
Yeah, and it's something that he's grown on his own. And it's become big, and he's freaking taking over the whole market here
Yeah.
for the most part of like weddings that desire some kind of performance like that. So it's always really cool, and of course, how things have been over. I complain about the weddings because I don't really care much for the whole union of marriage anyway, but it's been nice because over the last 2 years, pandemic didn't go anywhere, didn't see anybody. These were like little mini reunions, you know. So that was definitely the nice part about it.
I agree.
And again, they had the DJ who had to try to kind of play both sides, and
He was good.
It's very interesting to see like they kind of put like Arab drums over some of the American songs and shit like that. It's kind of weird to see that little mashup happen. But people were getting in, they're jumping on the floor and doing their thing, and
They had to find their balance, and he found it a pretty good ways in, and we were all right after the end of that. So it was good. It was a nice wedding. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, it's the end of wedding season for now.
Listen, even if it's not,
This end for you.
I'm not going to anymore.
Yeah, same here.
So just keep your invitation. Save your
Even
money.
if I had one planned for myself, like next month, I'd have to reschedule at this point.
When people book weddings for like, let's say you wanted to have 183 people at your wedding, way too many people.
Yeah.
But let's say you wanted to do that. Do they sell it like 150 to 200, like a range
No, I
of
don't
people,
think
or do
so.
you have to have like
I think you
specific
pay
head
per plate.
count?
Yeah, you pay per plate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, enough wedding talk.
I'm just saying things that I'll never
But
know.
you've never done that before.
Things that I never want to know firsthand.
Yeah, we
But all right.
talk about kicks and
Yeah, I guess we've done
Kick rocks.
enough talking shit today. So,
yeah.
We'll start with you. Obviously, you threw your shoe over your head early on in the episode, so
they
people probably saw it.
It
But
was such a good feeling too. So I got these 97s. I think that I don't know what they call them, but they're basically the Sprite colorway.
okay,
I have a few shoes in this colorway
blue
too. but-
Volt green thing.
Yeah.
Very
Always
nice.
a classic.
I got these Jordan 18s, Gym Red.
Oh, those are dope, man. I do like those a lot.
Actually, I got these on
Did
a
that
really
come with
good
the?
deal.
Did that come with the thing on them?
What thing?
Is that not the 18s?
I don't think you're thinking.
I think there is. Isn't there a clip? Or is that the 17 or the 16?
Yeah, I don't think you're thinking about this one.
I
This
think
is how these came.
I think that's the 16 I'm thinking about.
But I bought these from the Nike outlet in Aurora, and I spent like $120.
Don't
on
you have
them.
the another pair of those too? You know which ones I'm talking about, right? With that like copper like color.
Yeah, they put those out at the same time, and I missed those.
Yeah.
And I saw these at the outlet, and I was like, "Damn, 120! Like,
Come
that's a
up.
fucking come. Hell yeah!" So
For sure. I don't got nothing past the 12, honestly.
I got 113, 114 in these.
I got to step my game up.
Yeah, you probably should do that.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that would be episode 111 in a nutshell.
Oh, help me. I'm in a nutshell. 111.
For our very very one and only Patreon subscriber, we will work on getting more content out throughout the week for that as well.
Yeah.
If you did not listen when I told you to do this in the beginning and the top of the episode, now would be a good time to go and mash that subscribe button, hit the little bell,
Get alerted.
and even if you don't hit the little bell, just tune in every Tuesday.
Please do so. But if you're tuning in, at least subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, I would appreciate that.
Most
So.
definitely.
So, on that note, for me, my brother, and my sleepy, stanky dog, because he's just been farting. It's not a very well ventilated room. We will catch y'all on episode 112.
All right, y'all. 112, right by the staircase. Perfect place. When they evacuate. Wait, hit they.
See, I was going like 112, Mob Deep. Na 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 na.
gasoline. Fucking it's flammable. My hunger is unexplainable.